years ago, I sat in a bank office with a pen in my hand, ready to sign for a house. $340,000, 20% down, my entire savings account gone in one signature. I didn't sign it, and I want to tell you why. Because the reason isn't what you think. And by the end of this video, I'm going to show you the exact number that changed my mind. It's not a guess. It's not a feeling. It's math I didn't do until it was almost too late. But here's the thing. This isn't really a story about me. It's a story about two people I know. Same age, same salary, same city, one bought, one didn't. I'm not going to tell you who made the right call yet. Honestly, for the first 10 years, I couldn't have told you either. The answer only shows up if you're willing to wait for it. So stick with me, because the twist in this one surprised even me. And I've read a lot of spreadsheets. Let's meet them. Okay, Maya and Jordan, both 32, both make $80,000 a year. Both have $80,000 saved up, sitting in a bank account, doing basically nothing. Maya's the planner. She wants a place that's hers. No landlord, no rent increases. Something she can paint whatever color she wants at 2 in the morning if she feels like it. Jordan's the opposite. Jordan likes being able to leave. New job in another city shows up. Jordan wants to be able to say yes without selling a house first. Same money. Completely different instincts. And honestly, both of them are making a completely reasonable decision based on how they see the world. Here's where most videos like this one go wrong, by the way. They'll tell you renting is throwing your money away. You've probably heard that 100 times. Your uncles probably said it at Thanksgiving. It's not true. And here's the number that proves it. Maya buys a house. $350,000, 20% down. That's 70 grand. Plus another 10,000 in closing costs. Just like that, her entire $80,000 savings account is gone. Her mortgage, taxes, insurance, and the stuff nobody warns you about, maintenance, repairs, comes out to $2,653 a month. Now here's the part that actually surprised me. When I first ran these numbers, in her very first payment, only $230 of that $2,650 goes toward actually owning the house. The rest, over $2,400, is interest, taxes, insurance. Gone. Same as rent. Nobody tells you that part. So no, rent isn't wasted money, and a mortgage isn't automatic wealth. They're both just the price of living somewhere. The real difference shows up somewhere else entirely. And that's the part almost nobody actually calculates. That's what we're about to do. Jordan, meanwhile, rents a similar place for $2,000 a month, keeps the $80,000 invested, and commits to something most people say they'll do and almost nobody actually does. Investing the $653 difference every single month, no matter what. Fast forward 3 years. Maya's water heater dies. Nobody warns you about the water heater. $1,400, gone in an afternoon. But her house is worth a bit more now. Maybe $390, give or take. And between that and 3 years of payments, she's sitting on about $123,000 in equity. Jordan's paid $72,000 in rent over those 3 years. Sounds like a lot when you say it out loud, but that $80,000 plus the monthly investing growing at a normal market average, Jordan's portfolio is worth about $130,000. So 3 years in, and it's basically a tie. A few $1,000s apart. If you stopped the video right here, you'd walk away thinking this whole debate is pointless. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. I thought that too the first time I ran these numbers. I was wrong, because something starts happening after year 3 that nobody tells you about. And it's the whole reason this story doesn't end in a tie. Maya's mortgage payment is frozen. Locked in, day 1, forever. Well, for 30 years anyway. 26.53, rain or shine, rent hikes or not. Jordan's rent isn't frozen. It creeps up. 3% a year. Which sounds tiny until you let it compound for 2 decades. By year 5, Jordan's paying $2,250 a month instead of $2,000. Which means the amount Jordan can invest every month keeps shrinking. $653 becomes $578, then less, then less again. This is the part almost nobody explains, and it's the actual engine of this whole decision. Maya's cost is fixed, and her ceiling is high. Jordan's cost floats. And every dollar rent eats is a dollar that can't go into the market. It's not that Jordan made a mistake. It's that the math quietly shifts under Jordan's feet every single year. And by the time you'd notice, 10 years have gone by. 10 years in. Maya's house, worth around $600,000 now. Loan balances down to $240,000. That's about $360,000 in equity. Not bad. Jordan's rent has crept up past $2,600 a month, more than Maya's entire mortgage payment now. But Jordan's been investing that whole time, and the market's done what the market does over a decade. Jordan's portfolio, $290,000. Maya's ahead. By a lot. Here's where I thought the story would end, honestly. Buy the house, case closed, roll credits. Except, 20 years in, something happens that flips the entire story on its head. Maya's house is worth $767,000 now. Loan balance is down to $160,000. $606,000 in equity. Genuinely impressive. Jordan's rent climbed to $3,600 a month. 20 years of rent, no equity, nothing to show for the roof over Jordan's head on paper. But that portfolio, the one Jordan's been quietly feeding every single month for 2 decades, through market crashes, through years it felt pointless, that portfolio is worth $750,000. Jordan wins. On paper, purely on net worth, Jordan comes out ahead by about $144,000. I did not expect that the first time I ran the numbers. I actually redid the spreadsheet twice because I assumed I'd made an error. Now, before you go tell everyone renting is secretly the smart move, hang on. Because this is the part every single video like this leaves out. And it's the part that actually matters for you. That $750,000 Jordan has, it only exists because Jordan actually invested that difference every month for 20 years. Through 2 market crashes, a layoff, a friend's destination wedding, a dozen moments where it would have been so easy to just not. Be honest with yourself for a second. If you had $650 extra sitting in your checking account every month, would you actually move it into an index fund every single time? Or would some of it quietly become a nicer car, a vacation, a treat yourself that felt harmless in the moment? Maya never had that choice to make. Her money left her account automatically every month, whether she felt disciplined that day or not. That's not a small thing. Behavioral scientists call it forced savings, and it might be the single most underrated force in personal finance. There's a flip side too. Maya's $600,000 is stuck in one house, in one city. If a job comes up somewhere else, she's not just packing a bag. She's selling a house, which takes months and costs 5 to 7% in fees alone. Jordan can move next Tuesday, and if Maya needed to sell in year 2 instead of year 20, different story entirely. Those closing costs would have eaten most of her gains. Timing matters more than either side of this argument likes to admit. So here's the honest version. The spreadsheet says renting and investing wins. If you actually invest the difference, every time, for decades, without fail. The real world says most people don't, which means the math favors Jordan, but the odds favor Maya. Neither one of them was wrong. They were just optimizing for different things. And that's actually the answer. So, back to that bank office, pen in my hand, $340,000. Here's the number that actually made me put the pen down, and it's simpler than everything I just walked you through. Take the price of the house, divide it by what a full year of rent would cost for the same place. If that number's under 15, buying usually wins. Over 20, renting usually wins. I ran mine. 22. That's it. That's the whole reason. Not fear, not a gut feeling. One ratio I hadn't bothered to calculate until that afternoon. 2 questions, if you're actually facing this decision right now. 1. How long are you realistically staying? Under 7 years, renting usually wins outright. Moving costs alone eat the difference. 2. And be brutally honest here. Will you actually invest the difference? Or is that money going to quietly disappear into your life instead?